this is 1,000 ants versus a black widow. Chat, who you get your money on? I'm going 1,000 ants. I'm not gonna lie. Bro, did you see the way that they packed up that remember that roach video? I'm going ants, bro. And I don't even think that was 1,000. That was probably like 200. 1,000 ants? I'm going ants, bro. I'm sorry. But this is 1,000 ants versus Black Widow. Let's get it. What's the name of this creator? I think it's Tara Green. Tara Green. I want to say it's Tara Green. Tara Green or Tara Green?
If 1,000 ants had to fight a Black Widow, what would actually happen? Would the spider's venom come out on top, or would the sheer number of ants overwhelm her? Well, in this video, I'm going to test ants against that and tons of other interesting scenarios to see how strong ants really are.
The only problem is I don't have 1,000 ants. Thankfully, I found this website that sells just that. And the coolest thing is it's a mystery species, meaning we might actually get something really good. $300. Let's just add this to the cart.
And I bought the most expensive shipping option to make sure the ants would arrive without any dying during the shipping.
Oh, I am so excited. As long as I get a good species, it's going to be so fun to watch these go against a Black Widow and everything else I have
How
planned.
do you even get your hands on a Black Widow, bro? Oh, you thought this was gonna be animated? Oh, you thought this was about to be animated? No, sir. This is real life. I told you that. I said that.
For them.
Anyways, I brought them to the recording area and opened up the package, and I was kind of surprised by what I found.
No, are they in here? Oh my gosh. Okay, there actually is.
Bro, they just put them in a pill bottle? You can just ship them like that?
1,000. Okay, at least I didn't get scammed.
Since they were in a pill bottle, I couldn't really get a good look at them, so I got a clear container and dumped them all inside. Instantly, you could now see the true scale of what 1,000 ants actually looks like. And at least...
How do you count out 1,000 ants? How do you get... Like, that's gotta be an estimate. I don't think you really counted out all those ants. You know what I mean? There's no way you're one by one counting out 1,000 ants without them trying to climb out the bottle and, you know, by weight. Maya, you're fucking right. You're right. You're smart as hell. Oh God. How you're smart.
I mean, I think it's 1,000. I'm not counting all these guys. And after analyzing the species, I realized that these were harvester ants, which are equipped with venomous stingers and massive mandibles, meaning yes, this was actually going to be a very interesting video with everything I was going to test.
Now, for these 1,000 ants to be able to fight a Black Widow, we first need to get them in a nest. And well, everyone say hello to the Terra jar. It's like Terra Green, except I replaced the green with a jar. Anyways, let me go and dump all these guys in here. Be free, everyone. This is way bigger than that tiny pill bottle you were in.
Right away, you could see the ants starting to move around on top of the soil. Now, you might be thinking that this isn't enough space for the ants. Well, it actually is, because this is specifically designed for the ants to dig out tunnels all along the sides of the glass. And as the video progresses, we're going to see their nest get crazier and crazier. And yeah, most of the ants were kind of going crazy trying to climb up the glass, but after leaving them alone for only a few hours, you could see they were already starting to construct their tunnel system. Each of the worker ants would pick up singular grains of sand from the tunnels, walk up to the surface, drop the sand, and go back down to repeat the process. And when you have 1,000 ants, you can see they dig out a pretty good amount in only just an hour of this time-lapse footage.
Oh yeah, it's sick to see the ants already starting to build their nest, and it should be fully dug out by the end of the video. Anyways, as you know, I'll be putting these guys to the test against a Black Widow. But before then, I have all of these different training activities to prepare the ants for the final spider boss. Second up, we're gonna see how fast they can take down some prey. Yup. We've got a cricket. Oh my gosh, crickets hate me, and sorry, buddy, you are gonna be...
Yeah, you're cooked, bud.
Well, I guess you guys will just see what's about to happen.
And well, right after dropping the cricket in, literally within like a nanosecond, the ants...
Oh, damn! Oh, damn! Oh, god damn! They jumped that nigga off rip! Off rip? They didn't give him a second to breathe.
We'll just see what's about to happen.
And well, right after dropping the cricket...
Boom! Off... bro, as soon as he touched the ground, one said, "What the fuck you doing in here, Munch?" Another said, "You in my set, bitch, Munch?"
Cricket in, literally within like a nanosecond, the ants were swarming it. I thought it would only take like a couple minutes, but no. This cricket was already pinned down, getting venom injected into him. As I said earlier, each of these ants is equipped with a venomous stinger. That is obvious.
Damn, he digging at him. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to say that. It like, bro, look at the angle and tell me not, bruh. You getting ant back shots, bruh. He digging his little shit.
Obviously not super deadly to humans, but to crickets, when there's like 20 ants repeatedly stinging you, you're kind of done for. Yep, ants don't play around when there's a threat near their nest, and you can see over the next 30 minutes, the cricket stayed completely surrounded by the ants. And I'm guessing they already started to rip its antennas off and stuff to get a tasty meal to spread with the rest of the colony.
They putting it.
That was
Brought his ass up in it. Yeah, put him in the hole, bro. We about to eat him later. God damn. Yeah, GG's.
cool to watch. Anyways, it's getting late, so I think I'm gonna go and put this bucket on top of the ants so it's dark for them. I'm gonna go to sleep, and hopefully when I wake up, there's gonna be tons more tunnels. Anyways, yeah, I'll see you guys in the morning.
And over those next 10 hours, the ants made their tunnels so much larger and more intricate than before. And on the back, they even had tunnels all the way down at the bottom, with ants actively walking about the whole system.
Anyway, ants, it's 8 a.m., and that means it's time. As you can see, the alarm's going off. It's time for challenge number 3. Let's get these ants trained even more.
For this training, I have to pick up one unlucky ant and transport him to the Antlion pit. If you don't know what an antlion is, well, this is it. It's just a tiny little bug that has actually evolved over millions of years to be an expert at taking down ants. Basically, when you go and put them on the floor, they start to dig themselves under the ground, and then they just go around.
Oh, he really dug, like, real quick, too. Put himself right in a little burrow.
The digging. And I have 9 more of these guys, which I...
9? Oh, yeah, you set that little ant up for failure. Jesus. GG's little ant.
Spread across the whole tank. And as you can see, they all dig around, making these little lines in the ground. But after waiting a few hours, you can see that each of the ant lions had actually dug out their own little pits in the ground. And when an ant walks into the bottom of them, they're basically cooked.
All right, ant, I'm gonna put you right at the start. And at the end, I'm gonna put some breadcrumbs so you can bring back to the colony if you survive this.
And without further ado, I let the ant loose. Let's see if he can get the bread to feed the colony. Immediately, he started to explore around the sand area. He had no idea that he was constantly walking near these pits of death. And eventually, he took a wrong step and stumbled inside of one.
Oh, shit,
these pits are specifically designed to make the ants trip into them. But the ant lion at the bottom must have been sleeping or something, because nothing happened and the ant was just able to walk out. But if you look closely, this caused the ant lion to wake up. He was now active and armed, with his mandibles now throwing up sand in case the ant walked in again. And over the next few minutes, the ant did just that. He kept walking inside of the pit, but the ant lion just could never quite snap on the ant.
Oh, this nigga sucks. Oh, you suck. We're not sending you out to get food, nigga. You suck at this. Right, he getting trolled right now.
At the right time. Well, that was until this. You see, this is paused footage, but basically if we unpause it, you can see exactly what happens when an antlion gets a hold of the ant. The antlion started to bring the ant underground, and within a few seconds, it was like there was never anything even here. I thought it was over, and you could tell by the sand moving that the ant was getting pulled further and further underground. But all of a sudden, I saw this. A little bit of the ant's head had poked out of the ground. He somehow was fighting.
Oh, you suck at this, my nigga. You suck. You pull him down, and he's like, bro, I ain't gonna lie. Get that little ant. Yo, that ant better get back to the colony and get the best head he ever got. Bring him back there. Bring a full loaf of bread. He won, bro. He won, bro. Come on, bro.
Back and must have been using its stinger to try and escape. I immediately rushed back and recorded with my other camera, and what I saw was so weird. The ant had somehow made it out from under the sand, but it wasn't trying to escape. In fact, it was using
he trying to get back?
Its front legs to try and dig back under the ground.
Nah, he want get back. He want get back. He want to fight.
Bro, what the heck? Why is this ant digging like a dog? He's literally using his front legs to dig in the sand where he almost just got killed. Bro, this guy's crazy.
Nah, bro, if you want to be eaten by an antlion that bad, I will gladly put you right there.
Have fun, buddy.
And right after putting him in this pit, this antlion also woke up and eventually snapped at the ants. And it once again started to pull him underground. But miraculously, this ant was able to fight back once again.
Bro. Go put him back where he belong, bro. He too much of a fighter, bro. They not getting this nigga. Bro, these niggas is starving.
And somehow broke free, immediately ran out of the hole and straight over to the breadcrumbs to claim his prize. Nah, this ant tricked me to have me move him closer to the bread, and now he somehow won the challenge.
Nah, bro, there is something up with these ants. I'm being dead serious. How on earth did he escape the antlion pit over here? And how on earth did he escape this one and then know to go to the bread? And now he's trying to bring bread back to the colony. Bro, well played. You survived.
I'll bring you and all the bread back to the colony.
So I brought it all over to the nest, and the entire colony was clearly super excited because they all swarmed the bread and started taking little...
Bro, Yo, imagine the story he had when he get back. Yo, y'all wouldn't believe this shit. Y'all saw them big ass fucking tongs that snatched me earlier? Bro, when I went there, it was an empty desert. So I'm like, bro, I know I smell some bread. I'm trying to find it. Boom, I get snatched underground. Me and this nigga tussling. Us. I escape. But y'all know I ain't no pussy. I need that fade. So I go back to looking for the nigga. He ain't want to come back up. And then the big ass tongs grabbed me again and put me next to some other nigga. But I escaped that too. And then he blessed me with some bread and then I brought it back to y'all. Bruh. I swung that nigga body to the side. Like, bro, what? Nigga's story time is crazy. He gonna tell his grandkids that shit. No cap.
Pieces of it underground. Anyways, I went and waited a few hours and came back to find the nest even bigger once again. The ants still are not done with their training sessions, and next up, we gotta see if they can survive some Venus flytraps for some food. So I immediately picked up some of the workers to bring them to the flytrap minefield, completely decked out with tons of Venus flytrap plants.
For the food on this obstacle, we got a gorilla. I'm just kidding. I don't know why it's packaged in this. Basically what it is just a bunch of oats, and I'm just gonna feed these to the ants.
Nigga, I thought he was about to get the ants a fucking gorilla pack. No cap, I thought he was finna give the ants a gorilla pack. I'm gonna say, damn, you about to give him some weed, bro? He finna shit, I fuck. Thought he was finna give him that shit. That stank.
You see, each Venus flytrap has these tiny little trigger hairs inside of them, and when something touches them, it causes them to close. And if I carefully...
I think Venus flytraps are so interesting, bro. Someone said weed. Rhino pills for ants, bruh. I really think Venus flytraps are so interesting because, like, what the fuck evolved from this? What brought this here? And, like, what made a plant? And, bro, if these shits were bigger, it's over, bro.
The oats in between the hairs without hitting any of them. I can basically just put the food in here, which will make the ants have to carry them out. But it was actually pretty hard to get the oats perfectly inside, so I ended up just spreading the oats everywhere around the tank.
All right, let's see how the ants do in here. I have a feeling
you got how many did you bring?
They're not gonna do too well, but yeah, we'll see.
Immediately, the ants had started to swarm out the tube that I put them in, and they were probably really confused of why they were all just transported away from their nest. And for a little while, they kind of just walked around, investigating their new environment. But that was until a couple minutes later, where this first ant walked up to a Venus flytrap plant. He probably had no idea that these plants were basically alive and wanted to eat him whole. Thankfully though, this guy was able to walk out of the plants without triggering any of the traps. However, a few minutes later, this ant walked up to another one of the plants, and well, this time all I'll say is he wasn't as lucky. Surprisingly, he wasn't super attracted to the oats, but it did seem like he may have been attracted to the traps themselves. You see, Venus flytraps create a very thin layer of nectar around the lip of the jaws to lure insects in. And eventually, this ant ended up, well, walking into one, hitting a trigger hair, and just like that, he was now stuck inside of the jaws. As you can see, the ant was just walking around inside trying to escape, and he had no idea what to do. Too bad for this guy. This trap is going to release a type of acid over the next few days to basically just turn him into some nutrients to make the plant even stronger. Now, interestingly enough, pretty much all the ants I had put inside were staying away from the traps and were all grouped up around this corner. In fact, they were actually starting the process of digging some more tunnels. Now, these ants still think they're in the nest. They're just trying to dig. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it's pretty...
Hey, hard workers, bro. Nigga said, help me. Oh, yeah, he's cooked, bro. Ain't none of them ants come to help you or nothing. You just... Your stomach acid, buddy. Good luck.
Smart if you're not getting eaten by the traps. Because over the next 20 minutes, only one single ant came across another Venus flytrap. This guy. Let's call him Larry. Now, Larry is a daredevil because he was walking all over the jaws of all of these plants, absolutely risking it for the biscuit. But eventually, Larry's luck ran out because of this happened. The jaw had closed on him, leaving half of his body stuck out of it. But this was actually pretty good for Larry because it means he had a chance to escape. Using all of his strength, which albeit is not very much, he tried pushing himself out of the jaws. But the trap is designed to just get tighter and tighter as time goes on, meaning this ant was doomed. Well, not actually, because I kind of felt bad for Larry, so I cheated nature and used my tweezers to open the trap. I safely got Larry out and brought him back to the rest of the colony.
Interference with nature, bruh. Larry, you got blessed today. You got saved. Nigga playing God over here.
Anyways, that trend...
Is this not a God complex ass video, if we think about it? Like, yeah, there's experiments, but this is like a very God complex ass video. You know what I mean? Like, what if I did this? Oh, I'm gonna save this ant's life. Oh, I let this ant die. I put this ant in a trap. You know what I'm saying? This is very God complexy. Just saying. It's a great video though, twin.
Thing actually went really well. Every single ant survived except one. So I brought them all back to the nest and gave the whole colony a bunch of these little gorilla oats to show my support. As you can see, it didn't take long for some of the ants to start moving the oats down to their intricate tunnel systems. And speaking of these tunnel systems, the last training session I'm putting these ants through before the Black Widow is a flood simulation. Yeah, I'm flooding this ant nest.
Well, kinda, because if I actually flooded this thing, it would kill every single ant. So instead, I've got this thing called the Little Dripper, which, as you can see, drips some water droplets very slowly.
Yeah, it might seem kind of lame, but this little bit of water should be enough to eventually collapse part of the ant's tunnel system. And if it does collapse, if they can fix it quickly, it means they would have passed all my training missions, and that means they're ready for the Black Widow.
Like
so
rain,
I immediately started
much.
to drop the little droplets of water. And initially, the ants were very confused. Some of the droplets were hitting the ants and making them get completely drenched in water. But to my surprise, it almost seemed like the ants wanted to get wet.
Like
because
they were
more and more of
collecting
the ants started to gather around where the water was dropping.
Yeah, they were
and
collecting
eventually,
water.
a whole pile of ants was getting completely soaked by it. You see, ants are amazing in their ability to work as a team. And in the wild, if a real flood occurred, a massive ant colony would literally join together to...
That shit is so crazy, bro. Humans need to be a little bit more like ants. Niggas know they place. We work together when we need to. And just do their job, bro. No cap. I'm not gonna lie. You know it can't be. Oh, hell no. Because niggas want to have opinions and shit. Instead of just doing what they came to do, helping society, and then going about their business. You know what I'm saying?
Make a raft out of their bodies. And that way the important stuff like the queen and eggs could stay on the top and stay dry to ensure the future of the colony. And on a mini scale, this is sort of what the ants are doing here. They're joining together to make a shield out of their bodies that will prevent the water from getting into their tunnels where all the eggs are stored.
Wow,
That's
ants
so
are
tough.
actually amazing. I was totally expecting these tunnels to just collapse from the water, but it seems like ants have literally evolved to do pretty much anything. I'll remove this water. I don't want to do any more harm. You guys prove to me you're very capable.
They instantly took down the cricket, somehow escaped the ant lions,
Bro, this
survived the Venus
crazy,
flytraps, and
actually.
even survived a flood. And throughout that process, they managed to build an awesome nest with a thriving colony.
It is safe to say
I'm ready to see this Black Widow. They gonna tear that little motherfucker to pieces, boy. I'm telling you.
these ants are ready for my Black Widow. Now, this is actually my last Black Widow because all the other...
I feel like you need to put it in like right now that's in their colony. That's their spot. You need to put it in an equal opportunity place where you put them all in like a glass thing and put the Black Widow in a glass thing and just let them, you know what I'm saying? Because you kind of putting the Black Widow in their home right now. And I don't know if that's like really fair, you know?
Other ones from my other videos have escaped. Yeah.
Wait,
don't tell my
escape?
mom.
But anyways, I went and put the Black Widow in a container so you guys could get a good look at it. And as you can tell, it has that insane, iconic red hourglass abdomen. Wait, sorry. This is my pet robot Black Widow. This is not the real one. Here is the real Black Widow.
Holy
as you can
shit.
tell, it's extremely creepy. And under its glossy black abdomen is where the red hourglass is located. These guys have an insane amount of venom, so if it even bites a single ant, it's safe to say it's gonna be a goner. Anyways, here is the tank where the final battle will take place. I went
okay.
and put a few sticks from my backyard, then I put in the Black Widow. Immediately, she started climbing all over the sticks, and I went and waited a little while she sort of settled in and found a nice spot to rest. Once she did, I went to the ant nest, scooped a good amount of the workers into a tube so we could get this battle started.
Let's get these ants in here. Let the
Wait,
game
I thought it was 1,000.
Immediately, the ants started to run out of the tube and down onto the sand. When pretty much all of the ants had made it down to the sand, some started to make their way over to the Black Widow, which was just perched right above them on the sticks. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm a pretty impatient guy, and I couldn't bear to wait for the battle to start. So I literally picked up the stick myself to bring the spider down to the ants. Immediately, the spider started to run around, and none of the ants really noticed besides this guy. That kind of bit the spider's leg or something and scared it away. The spider tried to escape as fast as it could by climbing the glass, but it was too slick. Once a few other of the ants had noticed the Black Widow was on the ground, they started to jump it. And it was actually pretty funny to watch.
Bro, this nigga is not with no games. God damn. What the fuck you doing in my shit, nigga? You in my hood? Yo, this spider like, help me, help me. Oh, hell no.
Because as you can see, there's barely any ants, and the spider was so scared, trying to run away at full speed. Bro, you're like the most venomous spider in the world. Why are you not just fighting back? And yeah, a couple of the ants just kind of continued to terrorize the Black Widow. But the thing is, all of the rest of the ants were kind of just doing their own thing at the other side of the enclosure. I had to make this more interesting, so I had a better plan. I went and picked up all of the ants to bring them back to the nest.
All right, well, I got the Black Widow from the tank. And hey, the title did say 1,000 ants versus Black Widow. Let's actually put this to the test against 1,000 ants.
And well, I dropped the spider inside, and it immediately started going crazy, running everywhere. And obviously, the ants did not act kindly. Every single worker went on red alert mode and jumped onto the spider, grabbing her with their mandibles and repeatedly stinging it over and over. As you saw with the cricket, ants do not mess around with stuff in their nest. And to my surprise, the Black Widow did not even get a chance to fight back. It's actually pretty crazy how quickly the ants had pinned it down and started to devour it. And yeah, well, that's literally all that happened. And that should answer your question of who wins in a fight. 1,000 ants definitely wins. And they basically beat everything. There's a reason why ants are the secret king of the animal kingdom, because there's
if they were just like 5 times, they don't even have to be like 10 times. If they were just 5 times the size, like maybe this big, like pinky size. If they were just like this much of my pinky, I feel like we'd have like this thick, the body be this thick and the legs a little bit longer. We'd be fucking cooked. I think as a collective, we'd be cooked. Dog size ants, we're done. We're not the advanced species there. Their work ethic alone would cook us. Not gonna lie.
Trillions of ants around the world.
Oh, one final thing. I have an important message to all the kids and families and parents watching out there. Because the new Terra Green activity book was just released.
W activity book, bruh. Go get that man coloring book. W experiment. I had my money on the ants. Anybody who said Black Widow, you dumb as shit. You know what I'm saying? Ants up 1,000. Still. Ants up 999. RIP my aunt that hit the that Venus flytrap and shit. You know what I'm saying? I feel sorry for you, bro.